G'day guys, it's been a little while since I've done a video. Just wanted to have a chat about what we talked about in church just last Sunday. If you were there, you heard the news that Darcy Brown has accepted the offer to come on in church with us as what we're calling a ministry apprentice. And if you don't know what that is, basically a ministry apprentice is someone who steps back from their usual paid job and they step into a 2-year on-the-job ministry training program. Darcy will likely be involved in lots of different ministry areas across church, but he'll probably end up focusing on things like outreach and preaching and particularly developing our kids and youth area. That's likely what we'll have Darcy do. He'll also get input from being part of a larger ministry training network called MTS. But I want to talk to you about bringing on Darcy or bringing on an apprentice next year. You know, what does that mean for us as a church? Well, first of all, I think it means we've got things to celebrate. And really, as you look back over 2020, in the midst of a crazy year, God's done some amazing things among us. We've seen people become Christians, and we've seen people come back to church who have been far from God for a long time. And we've seen a lot of people kind of dig in and serve really hard throughout the year. And just on that, I just want to say, like, as a church, we're all in ministry. And in fact, we're all in full-time ministry. We're all attempting to use the gifts that God's given us and whatever particular capacity we've got at the moment to serve Jesus and help more people come and love Jesus. But while we do that as a church, we're also going to be attempting to set some people aside to be able to devote more of their time and energy to being trained up in Christian ministry. And that's what we're doing here with bringing Darcy on as an apprentice. As we do that, it will likely mean two things for us. It'll mean a real blessing for us, and it'll mean a stretch for us. The blessing will be just more hands-on ministry in church will mean the developing of what we're able to do to love more people, which is awesome. But the stretch will come in the form of finances for us. Even though an apprentice will be aiming to raise half of their own funds, the other half, the rest of it will need to come from our own Anchor Church budget. And so would you please be praying for Bella and Darcy as they take on this courageous step with us next year? And would you prayerfully consider your giving towards church at this time? There's been some really good news as to how our church giving's gone this year. We've actually grown in our ability to fund this ministry throughout the year in a really encouraging way. Even in a crazy year where there's no giving bags passed around, you've grown in your ability to graciously give towards gospel ministry, which is really encouraging. But as we look into next year, what will begin to happen is some of the outside support that was helping us get started will begin to taper off, as it should, and we'll need to work hard to stay on our, get established and be on our own feet financially as a church, so that we can cover ourselves and begin to be a blessing to other gospel ministries beyond us and other mission partners. So that's what we're going to be working hard to do. So this is a moment for us to celebrate, but it's also a moment for us to pause and prayerfully consider our giving again. And so can I nudge you to do that? As you kind of look down the barrel of 2021, can you consider the resources that God has entrusted to you? And can you ask that question afresh? How can I generously use what God's entrusted to me for His ministry, for the sake of His name? And can you consider your giving towards church and prayerfully ask the Lord what He intends for you to be able to contribute, so that we as a church can cover and grow our ministries and actually begin to be a blessing beyond ourselves. Let's continue to grow in the grace of giving and see what the Lord has in mind for us in 2021. And please be praying for Darcy as he comes on, and do whatever you can to actually encourage him as he leads among us, and pray for Bella as she leads among us as well. And there you go. I just want to talk to you about that. Hope that's helpful. Love you guys. See you soon.